Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Taralyn Azak. Happy St. Patrick's Day and happy Friday, everyone. And we might be catching a little of that Irish luck today with the forecast. And we're going to take a live look with Skylar Spindler right now. Take a look at that sky cam out there on this St. Patrick's Day. I know Skylar has some luck coming your way. She's going to talk about that on the forecast. Here's meteorologist Skylar Spindler.
Hey, you know, that tower cam, if you take a look out there, it was clouds were rolling in, but we talked about this morning. Those clouds rolling into the area, and we'll get some breaks here shortly. But for our weather headlines, happy St. Patty's Day, everyone. Mild temperatures in store for the weekend. Cold front does move in by Sunday. Conditions right now, 46 degrees in Providence, and those winds have kicked up out of the south at 15 miles an hour. Temperatures around the area, a lot of us are around 46 degrees. Smithfield, 48 degrees. New Bedford, 49 degrees. A little bit cooler in Newport, 44 degrees right now. So let's get you through the afternoon, what to expect with these temperatures. So we're a little bit cooler right now. That system that was out west moving north of us, so that's the good news. It stays to the north, but we do get a clearing because we have a little bit of dry air this afternoon that's going to eat that up. Some of us are going to get into those 50s. A few of us are going to be hanging on to the 40s, but get you into the evening time. Those clouds do increase and stick around for the overnight. So we'll get down to 42 degrees tonight. We're going to stay cloudy. I'll have that full forecast in a moment.
Thanks, Skylar. And today is St. Patrick's Day, and for many that means going to a local pub later today and enjoying a nice Guinness. And for some people, though, that celebration has already started over at the Dublin Rose in Seekonk, which is where we find ABC6 News reporter Yanni Tregellis, who's been there all morning talking to some festive people and celebrating the holiday. Yanni, how's it going over there?
Hey guys, well, happy St. Patrick's Day. It is crazy here at the Dublin Rose in Seekonk. I've got my green on. I'm celebrating holiday, and take a look here behind me. This place is filling up. We have been open since 9 a.m. Start off with a little bit of a crowd, but pretty soon you're not going to be able to find a place to stand if you don't get down here. And with St. Patrick's Day falling on a Friday, we are ready for a weekend long of celebrating.
Crazy. Starts at 9 a.m. and it won't stop till 2 a.m.
Excitement is high for St. Patrick's Day at the Dublin Rose in Seekonk. Whether you're looking for a Guinness or Jameson or traditional Irish food and music, it's all on display here for the pub's biggest day of the year.
Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. I'm like 4% Irish, but this is a national holiday here at Dublin Rose.
Things get going early at the Dublin Rose on St. Patrick's Day, with doors first opening at 9 a.m. And this morning, customers arriving early to find their spot before things pick up later in the day.
It's gonna be packed. They're like 6 to 8 deep by mid-afternoon. The chef does an amazing spread on, sets up for this with the corned beef.
The Dublin Rose has become a mainstay for locals on the holiday, and throughout St. Patty's Day, the pub will have live performances like bands and bagpipe performers. On a normal St. Patrick's Day by mid-afternoon, you can't find a spot at the bar. And with the holiday falling on a Friday, everyone is even more excited for a weekend full of wearing green.
This is the quiet before the storm, and being a Friday and a Friday night tonight, I can't even imagine what it will be like tonight.
For Edward Kalachi, who runs the kitchen at the Dublin Rose, a long weekend lies ahead for him and his staff, as the boom in business starts early and will last all the way through Sunday night.
The bagpipes and drums come in. It's awesome. Yeah, it's a great atmosphere. I'm here. I'm here. That's it.
End of the weekend, you're going to need a nice cool beer
exactly.
like everyone's got right now.
Thank God it's Monday.
Well, such a fun atmosphere here at the Dublin Rose for St. Patrick's Day. And of course, as you can see on some of the screens behind me, March Madness game's about to tip off. We'll have more from here on March Madness and people enjoying it with the St. Patrick's Day holiday coming up later on. And how about this? Chef Edward Kalachi, 550 pounds of corned beef hash for the St. Patrick's Day holiday. And he said we are going to go through it all throughout this entire weekend. We're live at the Dublin Rose in Seekonk. Yanni Tregellis, ABC6 News.
How fun is that? Now, over in Warwick, the Warwick Police Department is putting out a simple message this St. Patrick's Day. Don't drink and drive. Instead, just call them for a ride. From 7 p.m. tonight through 2 a.m. Saturday morning, anyone who lives in Warwick who's had too much to drink can call the police, and a volunteer from the Citizens Police Academy will pick you up and get you home safely. This is the 8th year the department has offered free rides on St. Patrick's Day in an effort to keep the community safe. And the luck of the Irish is alive and well today, as it's a great day to be Irish, even if you have just an ounce of Irish ancestry, or you can simply pretend for the day. The annual observance on March 17th recognizes St. Patrick, Ireland's patron saint who converted the Irish people to Christianity. Why do we wear green on St. Paddy's Day? The color is a nod to Ireland's nickname, the Emerald Isle, or the mythical belief that if you wear green, you are visible to leprechauns. And where in the United States was the first St. Patrick's Day parade? Well, I'll let you think on that and give you the surprising answer at the end of the show. Stay tuned. And the Friars, well, they're limping into the tournament. They've dropped 4 of their last 5 and 3 straight, falling behind big and early in those losses. But PC has shown fight in those games, crawling their way back into them. So how do they make sure they get going early and avoid falling behind in the first half? Intensity and practice, which is exactly what our ABC6 sports team down in Greensboro, North Carolina has seen over the past few days, with a lot of the young guys stepping up and providing a spark.
That's my teammates just encouraging me and finding me, as well as the coaching staff, and, just take it from there.
I feel like as a team, we've seen a side of us that we haven't seen probably in a couple of games, and that brings us life and it gives us some hope going into the tournament. Maybe we can make a run.
There's a lot of great memories, a lot of upsets, but also like Cinderella stories, seeing things like that. That gives everybody confidence.
And of course, the biggest storyline around this game is Bryce Hopkins going up against his former team after transferring from Kentucky to Providence this season. Tip-off tonight at 7:10. Go Friars. And more of today's headlines now. Middletown police held a press conference this morning. Still no details about the 39-year-old man found dead in his home on Tuesday. Investigators have said they're investigating it as a suspicious death. Officers responded to the home on West Main Road for a welfare check, and that's when they found Edward Corbett's body. The medical examiner is doing an autopsy to determine an official cause of death, and later today we are speaking with friends of the victim. Stay tuned on that. And there's a renewed effort to protect employees from union busting. Today at a Starbucks in Warwick, union leaders, barista, and Congressman Magazine are calling for the passage of pro-unionization legislation in Congress. The legislation would strengthen employees' rights to unionize and bargain for better wages, benefits, and safer working conditions. Starbucks is currently facing mounting backlash as employees claim the coffee giant is trying to stop their unionizing efforts.
Forcing people out of their income, out of their work is an act of violence. It takes food off their table, it puts people out of home, and it's truthfully monstrous and unforgivable.
And Starbucks CEO is scheduled to testify before a committee in Congress later this month. And still to come on ABC6 News at noon. It's a popular day for drinking green beer. How Woonsocket police are making sure people arrive home safe. Plus, the Manhattan District Attorney appears to be close to potentially filing charges against former President Trump in the investigation into a hush money payment. We'll have the latest after this. Welcome back. It's 12:10 and back with political news now. In the criminal investigation into former President Trump, Manhattan prosecutors could charge the former president related to the hush money payment for porn star Stormy Daniels. And now Trump's former fixer Michael Cohen is speaking to ABC News. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
A bombshell week in the criminal investigation into former President Donald Trump. Porn star Stormy Daniels meeting with Manhattan prosecutors and Trump's former fixer Michael Cohen testifying before the grand jury for a total of about 5 hours.
Are you convinced that an indictment of President Trump is coming? Are you prepared for cross-examination?
Absolutely.
Cohen speaking with ABC's George Stephanopoulos, saying he wants to see the former president held accountable for his 2016 hush money payment to Daniels. Cohen wrote the $130,000 check a month before the 2016 election, which experts say could violate campaign finance laws.
I was working for a man who ultimately became president of the United States. And yes, there are things that we did that were wrong. For example, the hush money payment. But I never expected that democracy would be on the line as a direct result of the former president.
The Manhattan district attorney considering whether to file a criminal indictment against Trump over that payment.
I promised the American people that all the information that is needed in order to create the indictment, to get a prosecution and a conviction, is in the hands of the district attorney.
It's not clear whether Daniels would be called to testify, but she says she is in a fight for truth and justice. Cohen would be a star witness for the prosecution if this goes to trial. Trump's attorney claiming Trump paid off the porn star to protect his family.
He made this with personal funds to prevent something coming out false but embarrassing to himself, his family, his young son.
Trump has made it clear even if he's indicted, he's not dropping out of the 2024 presidential race. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And still to come on ABC6 News at Noon, making school lunches more affordable in the Ocean State. We'll tell you about the new legislation introduced when ABC6 News at Noon continues.
But you feel those winds shifting in from the south. A little bit cooler. They've started to pick up in the afternoon time. That's because we have this approaching system. So the last couple of hours on satellite and radar, we just saw those clouds increasing. You can kind of see up in the far corner here, up in Connecticut, we do have that system that's starting to move through. So here's that big system with the front that's moving along. You can kind of see some of those scattered showers starting to head towards our area. The good news, they don't quite reach us just because we have a lot of dry air in place. The dew points are fairly low right now, but still dry enough that we're not going to reach 100% saturation to get this in. So Water vapor in the atmosphere. You see a lot of this in the mid-level, so we do have a lot of extra water in the atmosphere. But what happens is as you get closer to the surface, we have a little bit of intrusion of dry air, which is helping break this whole entire system up. So as we send this into future mode and get you through the afternoon, you can kind of see here, it gets really close to us tonight. And it might even graze a couple of our very northern counties, mostly staying north of us and into the Massachusetts area. You can kind of see here, it doesn't really come, it gets close to us, but we also have this area of dry air. So that's going to keep us dry through the overnight tonight in the evening hours. Let's take a look at Providence right now. 46 degrees. Feels a little cool outside. That's just because the winds are out of the south at 15 miles an hour right now. So if we look at the temperatures around the area, most of us are sitting in the 40s right now. 49 in New Bedford. So some of us are getting close to 50. Plymouth at 50 degrees right now. A little bit down by the coast. You guys are a little bit cooler, sitting at 44 degrees in Newport. Let's look at the temperature cast as we get us through the afternoon. So once we start to get out in the right about now and into the 1 o'clock hour, we do get a quick little break. So we get an opening, we get a little bit of sunshine that should peak out for about an hour or two. That's going to help us warm up so you can kind of see some of these variations in temperatures around the area. Some of us staying in the upper 40s, some of us getting up to 55 today. You see by 8 o'clock tonight, far out on the Cape, you guys might catch a quick little shower. Again, we've got that dry area, and that's going to help eat up some of that moisture. So even if you saw a little bit, you'll see a little sprinkle out there. So in the overnight hours, we get down to about 42 degrees as our overnight low. It stays cloudy outside. And if you're going to head out tomorrow to the parade, it's going to be 51 degrees at noon tomorrow. Winds will stay out of the west at 5 to 15 miles an hour. And we do stay mostly cloudy for the day. Well, let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. So today, not bad. We got a lot of 50s in this forecast. We'll be about 52, 53 for the high. Tomorrow, not too bad. So we're still coming in around 52 degrees. Overnight, Saturday night, and into Sunday morning, we do have a cold front that's going to move into the area. It's going to bring a little bit chillier winds with it. So we're only going to be getting up to 39 degrees for Sunday. Spring is on Monday, so we start warming up 48 degrees with some sunshine in the air. And then we're on our way to those mid-50s on the way. And you know what? Our wild card day right now is going to be Thursday because some of the models are pulling really warm. So this could be a good day for those getting close to 60 degrees. So fingers crossed that our luck stays with us through the rest of the week because this looks like a pretty nice forecast to me.
It's looking fantastic.
I'm pretty excited about Thursday.
Seeing all of those 50s, my goodness. The luck is with us.
Yes.
And maybe it's because we're both wearing green.
I think it has to be.
All right, thank you, Skylar. We'll check back in with you. And more than 30 groups joining together at the State House showing support for new legislation to make school lunch free for all public school students in Rhode Island right now. Every day, 72,000 students in Rhode Island receive free or reduced breakfast and lunch. In 2022, 41% of households with children were identified as food insecure.
I have witnessed an about face in our lunchroom from the past 2 years. What was a level playing field that everyone looked forward to now reeks inequity.
The proposed legislation is similar to a law passed in Massachusetts, which provided free lunch to students through the end of the year. And still to come on ABC6 News at Noon, robots at the grocery store. We'll explain to you. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's 12:21 on this St. Patrick's Day, but attention shoppers. High prices may not be the only thing you have to worry about at the supermarket. Someone may be watching you. There's a new movement toward using facial recognition in stores for security, and it's not without controversy. Here's ABC's Rhiannon Alley with more.
This morning, a supermarket's use of facial recognition is raising privacy concerns. The sign posted outside a Fairway store in New York City reads, "Customers' biometric data may be collected."
It's using a scan of our eye, or it might be using our facial, our face, or a fingerprint.
Fairway saying in a statement, the technology is helping our store reduce retail crime. Shoplifting has surged across the country. The number of shoplifting complaints in New York surged to more than 63,000 last year, 45% more than the year before.
This is not a city where you can walk into a store, take what you want, and walk out.
Dozens of large retailers are reportedly using facial recognition to catch repeat offenders. And more entertainment venues are using the tool at ticket gates, including First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Citi Field in New York, and the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
It's very, very difficult to find a pin in a haystack, so to speak, at a large venue or a large event. So, yeah, I think you're going to continue to see the technology distributed.
The owner of Madison Square Garden has been under fire for using facial recognition to identify and remove people. Those removed include lawyers involved in litigation against MSG.
For law enforcement, there's some huge, huge positives. On the negative side and the concerning side, we've got a real challenge potentially around how that data is utilized, especially if it's put in the wrong hands.
Businesses in New York City are required to post signs notifying customers of any biometric surveillance. Amazon is now being sued, accused of not following that requirement. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
And still to come on ABC6 News at noon. A young seal makes her way back into the ocean after rehabilitating at the Mystic Aquarium. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. A seal released into the ocean at Blue Shutters Beach in Charlestown on Thursday. The little pup named Kiwi was found in Nantucket, stranded, malnourished, and with an infection. Mystic Aquarium took her in, weighing just 27 pounds, and through treatment, Mystic's team was able to double her weight, now checking in at a robust 63 pounds. fully recovered. Now she is back in her natural habitat. So you're probably noticing on the screen there the satellite tag on her back. That will help officials with the Animal Rescue Program collect valuable data on kiwis' movements to learn more about the gray seal population in our region. And let's hear it over to Skylar Spindler for our last check of our forecast.
Well, tonight we're going to get down to 42 degrees. We'll stay cloudy in the overnight hours if you're heading out to the parade tomorrow in Providence. It'll be 51 degrees at noon. Winds will stay out of the west at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Clouds do stick with us for the day. 7-day forecast. So for tomorrow, not too bad. We'll get up to a high of 52 mid-afternoon. And then for Sunday, we do have that cold front that move through in the overnight. That's only going to get us up to 39 degrees. We'll have a chilly breeze that's going to roll in with that. Spring is on Monday. Some sunshine and 48 degrees, and we're warming on up as we get through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. How do you feel about that?
I'm
feeling lucky?
Great about it. I'm feeling lucky. And now I have my St. Patty's Day question. It's answer
Let's
time.
do it.
So where was the first St. Patrick's Day parade in the U.S.? Well, drumroll, St. Augustine, Florida. All right, it's time for my Irish goodbye. Just kidding. Thanks for joining us for ABC6 News at Noon. The news continues first at 4, and for news and weather anytime, ABC6.com is always on. Have a great day.